Hello, this is Frank Landry again. Today I'll be providing commentary on the level I created for Cinevva, Hide and Seek. It is still a work in progress at the time of this video. The footage that you see, some of it has been edited just for time and pacing, but this is a general good demo of the level. So the purpose of the level, as you can see as we've started, the purpose of the level is, so you start on a floating island, and so you're progressing across bridges through a series of floating islands. So in that conversation with Sally, our first NPC, so she tells you that she's playing hide and seek with her sister. She cannot find her sister anywhere, so she gives you your quest for the level, which is to find Sally's sister for her. So you go across so she tells you she doesn't know where she is, but you can start looking for clues on other islands. So you go across this bridge to the biggest island, sort of the hub island. You talk to Loretta and Pete. So Loretta tells you, oh, I didn't see anyone, but you might want to talk to Pete. Bit of a splice there just for time, but so Pete gives us the central challenge of the level, which is there's a gate, quote-unquote gate. It's a rock that slides, so it's not your typical gate, but it is a gate nonetheless. So at this island, you have the gatekeeper and you have a gate. And so Pete tells you that he saw the little girl or not a little girl, but the sister, the younger of the two sisters, run past through the gate, and he tells you to be careful of this gatekeeper. Now, the gatekeeper, he's not going to let you pass. The gatekeeper tells you the only way you can pass is by solving his riddle. The riddle being, what can you put in a bucket to make it weigh less? Which, obviously the answer is not literal, because there's nothing you can put in a bucket to make it weigh less. Nothing physical you can put inside. And so all the NPC dialogue from there on out is to give you hints that push you towards the true nature of the answer, which is that the only thing you can put in a bucket to make it weigh less is a hole. Obviously not something you're literally physically putting into the bucket, but put in as to add a feature to the bucket. So the dialogue system was a unique challenge because there was no system when I started making this level to have an NPC's dialogue change. Now, at least naturally, you couldn't put conversation 1, conversation 2. And so what you don't see is that there's these, at different times I've gone between making them like actual numbers, like number 1, number 2, number 3 that you'd see in the top left corner of your screen, versus invisible objects I call triggers. But either way, there's triggers throughout the level, which are actually items that are being put into your inventory. So after each conversation, so there's 4 triggers overall. So there's the first trigger, which is when you start the level, lets you talk to Sally. The second trigger you get from Sally lets you talk to everyone leading up to the gatekeeper. And then you get the third trigger from the gatekeeper, and that lets you go and ask everyone for hints. And so, because Cinevva has a unique system where you can have different scenarios depending on what you have in your inventory. So you can have if you click on this character, but you have this in your inventory, it starts this scenario. And so that allows for the different levels of interaction, and it gives the illusion that as you progress through the level and as different events happen, the characters are reacting in real time. So now that the character has talked to everyone throughout the level, they're going to go back to the gatekeeper, and so this is where you have the integration of the Cinevva OpenAI software. There's a prompt that tells the gatekeeper, all right, accept only this answer and only this answer, and if the player gets it wrong, try again. Encourage them to try again, and when they get it right, congratulate them. Tell them thank you for playing, right? And so here I ask a frog. Obviously, oh wait, never mind. I asked a frog, wrong answer. I asked a hole, that's the right answer. And so theoretically, you could keep trying on and on again forever because the AI can think of different unique responses each time. So here we're going to move aside just to get to the fence after this gate. Click on the gate, it moves to a different position, and now finally you're free to go and talk to the sister. There's no official game ending. I guess you can still go back and try to talk to everyone, but there's no dialogue written for them. But as the sister says, you win the game.